You mentioned about not getting paid. This Florida State case, put a lot of that out into the open. You live in this world. I've certainly heard so many stories about promises not being kept, players who sit out for a few games with, a back issue or a lower body injury or an undisclosed whatever. And then you find out 6 months later, oh, yeah, he sat out because he wasn't getting paid. So it's very hard for me to sift fact from fiction, probably one of your challenges as well. But how frequently does that happen where players don't get paid what they were promised?
Less with each year. Early in NIL, it was crazy. I mean, all my guys got paid because I did the contracts. I wouldn't let them step on that court until those contracts were done, right? And I know it's it's NIL and it's not pay for play, but was it Rick Barnes the other day said he's getting paid to shoot threes, so he needs to shoot threes. We all know what it is. My guys aren't getting out there and risking getting injured unless their compensation that they've been promised is guaranteed. Just like those coaches wouldn't be coaching if their compensation wasn't guaranteed, right? But early in NIL, a lot of the boosters had a kind of a viewpoint of like, these kids should be grateful and we're giving them money. So if they're not performing well or they get hurt or we're not happy with the coach, we don't have to pay them. And a lot of guys got left holding the bag a lot. Like those first year or two of NIL, I would say like 50% of guys didn't get what was promised them on the way in. I saw guys who were promised 400,000 leave with 100. Crazy things. But my guys always got paid because I did my job. If you don't pay your guys and it goes public, it can be the death of your program. Now, there was another high major program in the American Conference this year where a player left mid-season or right before the season started and said it's because I'm not getting paid. Well, that same program, I didn't let them recruit my players this year because I already knew that was happening. I heard the rumblings. I could tell in my dealings with them when they're recruiting, I say, hey, well, will you send me a contract? And they wouldn't call me back for a week. I'm like, okay, this is a red flag. If everyone else is sending a contract and you're not, we're not going to take visits to your school. A few months later, kid leaves the program because he's not getting paid. So there are still a few programs that are playing with fire. And a lot of it is rooted in, we're promising a $3 million payroll, but we actually only have $1 million in the bank and we're planning on winning games and raising that money. And then that booster, pulls out. And now the coaches all want to pay on time, but they're at the mercy of these boosters who are emotional humans and can pull money at any time. So hopefully with revenue sharing, we're going to get closer and closer to a model where that isn't happening. But as long as we're still in a world where guys are getting paid late or not at all, my job is still very, very important.